Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here. uh, I wanted to make this video because I want to talk about Donda. I want to talk about my first sort of reaction to it, my first thoughts. I have quite a few, and I figured why not just make a video about it. I want to preface this video by saying that I am a huge Kanye stan. I love Kanye. He's my favorite artist of all time. I'm going to be breaking this video down into sections. First section is going to be overall broad thoughts about the album, the listening parties, stuff like that, just overarching things. And then the next section will be song by song impressions, things that thoughts that I have about individual songs. I'll probably finish it off with favorite songs, least favorite songs, stuff like that. Maybe excess thoughts, closing thoughts, final thoughts, whatever. I've been listening to this album since it came out Sunday, nonstop pretty much in the car or whatever. So sort of first impressions, but also I've pretty much been listening to this album since the first listening party plus Donda. So however many listens, I don't know how many. This album was released on a Sunday. It was also released on Michael Jackson's birthday. The album being released on Sunday, I think, was intentional, for sure, given Kanye's recent beliefs, Christianity, the gospel, yada yada. I don't know if it was a coincidence or intentional that it dropped on Michael Jackson's birthday, but that's just something that I think was cool because Kanye is such a big Michael Jackson fan, and all of the times he has referenced him in a song, and his inspiration on Kanye, all of that. Just touching on the listening parties, I think that they were really cool because I think that they were important because this is something that no one has ever done. It sort of gives another dimension to his music and to the album as a whole. There was an interview where Kanye had talked about how he would have been a playwright in Shakespeare's time if he had lived during that time, and I just think it's interesting drawing the connection how these were sort of plays that went along with the album, the music. I remember Kanye talking about the Life of Pablo tour, and I can't remember where he said it, but he had mentioned that these concerts, the tour that he was going on, was not so much a concert, but just everyone getting together, enjoying his music, just vibing out to his music. And I think that kind of fits the theme of, a listening party. I think that this is something that Kanye's thought about a lot and has been thinking about for a while. As you saw with the Life of Pablo listening party with him and Cudi, the famous picture, Pusha T, Travis, everything. A couple more things I want to talk about real quick before I get into the track list. This album does not sound finished. It doesn't sound complete, and a lot of people aren't going to like that. A lot of people are going to want a polished, gone over album. A lot of Kanye fans, I assume, are not going to like this. They want an album that's put together, that's cohesive. This album feels unfinished. The post that Kanye had made about his label releasing the album when he didn't want it to come out yet. Jail 2 with DaBaby wasn't on streaming services, I don't think, for the first few hours. Like I said before, I feel like this album is just going to keep evolving, and it's almost an experience in itself with the listening parties. I feel like it's more of an experience than an actual album. It's not really an album, it's not really a mixtape, it's kind of just a capture of what was happening at the listening parties, and not everyone's gonna necessarily like that. Last thing I want to touch on before we get into the track list is just the evolution of Kanye and how it impacts this album. Obviously, every Kanye album is going to be different, and he's gone through different eras With this one, I feel like there is a lot of self-inspiration, if that makes any sense, of previous albums that he's done. Obviously, it's Kanye and he made those albums, but um, I get a lot of hints of like Graduation, um, Yeezus, The Life of Pablo, the Kids See Ghost and Ye era, and even maybe some of like So Help Me God, the leaked album right before The Life of Pablo. I really feel like Kanye is at such a special part of his career where he has kind of mastered these gospel samples. Obviously, he's known for the soul samples and being such a great producer on that end. But I really feel like he's at this point where he's mastered infusing those things into his music. He's making things that are sounding absolutely gorgeous that you could like almost play in church. It's beautiful. I think it was important that he went through that Jesus is King era, and came out to this because it feels like Kanye has gone through that and now he's kind of emotional again. He's human again. He's showing human emotions, especially on this album, and he almost has that bite or that raw energy that he has on like I mentioned before, a Yeezus or a Kid See Ghost or a Ye. Um, I think this might have to do with everything that's been going on with Kim and his personal life. Obviously, his albums always reflect his personal life, but that bite and that wanting to prove himself, I feel like is back. And there's a few songs on here where he's rapping so well. It just flows after flows. And we haven't heard something like that from Kanye in so long. So I'm really excited to talk about this album, so let's get into it. If I missed anything, I'm probably just going to talk about it as the track list goes on. I'm sure I missed a lot. This video is turning out to be a lot harder than I thought it would be. Who would have thought that? But the first song is Donda Chant. The intro is Donda Chant. I was going to make some stupid joke about this song, but something came into my head about I think I remember hearing something about chanting in the Bible, how it was a bad thing, how you should stay away from it if you're of God. Something about demons chanting, and I tried to find something, but I couldn't. So maybe that's a stretch. But the other thing is maybe there's something to... it's Kanye, so there's obviously a reason to this, but maybe it's something to do with maybe channeling his mother, Donda, in the afterlife with some sort of chant, something like that. It could be a stretch, but my room is getting darker because the sun's going down. I apologize for the lighting. The second song is Jail with Jay-Z. I love this song. It was one of my favorites at the listening party. I think Kanye played it towards the end or at the end of the very first listening party. The guitar is fantastic. I think Mike Dean did that. I guess it's a guitar riff. The chorus is amazing. How he splices in the choir as well. And that's another thing. There's a lot of songs on this album that feel like they're taken directly from the listening party with the choir. I don't know if Kanye had recorded with a choir previously before he had played the songs at the listening party, but there was people dancing around singing with microphones, so it seems like that was part of the act, a part of the song when he played it at the listening party. Kanye sounds great singing, especially with the choir backing him. Jay-Z's verse is great. It's a great welcome, a great thing that Jay-Z's back with Kanye. I think everybody loves that. And the break at the end, or the beat switch up, is so dirty. It's so good. I wish Kanye would have rapped over that or kept playing the refrain, the chorus over that, but it's still such a solid song. It's one of my favorites on the album. Next is God Breathed, and I have to admit this is not my favorite song. I'm not big on this song right now, but I will say a few things, and that's it sounds like it's very Yeezus inspired. It sounds a lot like Yeezus, and it also sounds an awful lot like the So Help Me God era of this extremely royal sounding, heavenly, godly music. But with this song, it doesn't sound very positive. It's very dark, very eerie. It sounds a lot like Yeezus in that uh, sort of experimental, very primal hits of somebody screaming is what it sounds like. Off the Grid is track 4. This song's fucking sick. I mean, come on, this song is sick. I'm biased because I'm a Cardi fan, but I really like the lead up to Cardi's verse, the drum beat and how everything kind of comes together and hypes up his verse, which is really good. I love the Dover Street Market line, rhyming that with Charlotte. I appreciate that. Fabio Foreign goes absolutely in. He goes fucking insane. He's rapping like his fucking life is on the line. I don't know much about Fabio Foreign. I haven't listened to any of his music really, but from what I've heard, this dude is goated. He's sick. Kanye having to rap after Fabio Foreign, absolutely going in. I feel like Kanye does go in. His verse is great. He's rapping so quick. I can't remember the last time we heard Kanye rap like this. Like, what, maybe The Life of Pablo or Kids See Ghost on Fourth Dimension. He's going in. He's rapping so quick, and it reminds me a lot of Lil Uzi Vert, his song Free Uzi, where he has that flow that's just super quick. It's almost identical to that flow, but I don't even know if I've heard a flow like this from Kanye. Easily a top 5 song on the album. I love this song. It's fantastic. It's so rock and roll. It gives me glimpses of like Piss on Your Grave with Travis Scott from like 2015 or whenever. Could be compared to like Yeezus almost. Very egotistical. One more thing about Off the Grid is I love the reverb that Kanye put on Cardi's ad-lib in throughout the beginning of the song and right before the verse comes in. When I was talking about earlier how everything kind of comes together right before Cardi snaps on his verse. It's sick. It's so cool. I imagine this kind of opens up the floodgates for Cardi being in the studio with Kanye, giving him sort of the possibility of more experimentation with his music. I know that Cardi has evolved since Self-Titled, and this is not a Cardi video, but he's evolved throughout all of his albums, especially to A Whole Lotta Red, but he kind of has been locked in this punk rock rap, hardcore rap trap music, and I feel like this kind of gives him an opportunity to experiment with his music more. And obviously there was a post that Cardi made saying that he was putting out a new album soon. I can only imagine that this has everything to do with being in the studio with Kanye, so props to Kanye for working with Cardi. Hurricane featuring Lil Baby and The Weeknd. This song is I think that this is one of the best songs Kanye has ever made. While I'm conflicted because of all of the versions that have come out in the past for 80 Degrees or Hurricane, we've gone through so many verses with Big Sean, different Kanye verses. Now we have a Lil Baby verse. I wish that the original Kanye verse was on this. It was such a nice verse. But this is what we got. And there's only one other problem that I have with this song. It's the way that Kanye splices the choir in the chorus. The Weeknd sounds great. I think he fits like a glove on the chorus, but the way he splices the choir, I don't know how I feel about it. It sometimes builds suspense, and then sometimes it cuts off the hype of the song, and it gets this awkward silence right before Lil Baby's verse. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I think that I don't like it, but as time goes on, we'll see. Um, the Weeknd on the song, perfect. The way that he like interpolated the lyrics or remixed the lyrics on the chorus is just great. It gives me chills every time that I listen to it. I've heard this song a million times, and when he came in with that, I guess, verse, I was blown away. The choir sounds amazing. Lil Baby obviously goes in. Kanye goes in. I think this has got to be one of Kanye's best songs, regardless how I feel about the splicing. Um, and towards the end, I think the last time that The Weeknd does his verse, the beat changes, like the snare and the drums. It sounds like something's almost crashing into earth. It sounds absolutely huge, almost like when The Weeknd is talking about lightning striking the beach. It sounds like almost lightning hitting the ground when the beat comes in towards the end, when The Weeknd does his last verse. This video is so long. Praise God with Travis and Baby Keem. This is a really good song. I think that the Baby Keem verse kind of weighs it down. While I do love Baby Keem, I don't think that this verse was it. I think it could have been trimmed down significantly. The first and last parts of the verse, I feel like should have been cut out. I'm surprised that Kanye kept all of that in there. It seems to go on for a while, but this song is good. Um, it's a new beat, not the original one that was played at the original listening party, which I was kind of pissed about. But now the beat has grown on me a lot more, and I feel like it fits more. Kanye and Travis are just doing their thing, going back and forth. I love the walking out the grave refrain, that little like mini chorus that Kanye has. And it's great that him and Travis are trading back and forth. And then obviously the Baby Keem verse. Not the best thing I've heard from Baby Keem. Again, it surprises me that Kanye kept this on the album. Last thing about um, Praise God. I love the intro. I believe it's Donda talking, Kanye's mom, in the beginning. It's a great message. It fits the song perfectly. I think that this song had a lot of potential, a lot of potential, but it fell a little short just because of Baby Keem's verse. He probably should have kept Baby Keem on there, but maybe trimmed down the verse a little bit, and I think it would have fit perfect on the song. Jonas, the next song. This song feels like a breath of fresh air after the kind of eerie Praise God that came before it. When it hits, it kind of feels like a rejuvenation of the album, a more positive song, and it feels like a breath of fresh air. It's like a sweet melody. Vori sounds great on this song. I don't know who that is, but he sounds really good on the chorus. It reminds me of 808s and Heartbreak with these sort of flashes of like a beep or something. I really dig that. I'm trying to think of the song that it reminds me of. Maybe Paranoid off of 808s. But obviously Lil Durk is on this. He does great. Kanye does great. He has a really introspective verse. Um, I love that line about talking or starting every sentence off with no cap, speaking to me with no cap. That was really Kanye-esque and really funny. Um, but it's still a very meaningful song, very introspective song, talking about needing someone to lean on, needing a shoulder to lean on. So I really dug this track. It's one of my more favorite songs on the album. Okay, okay, part one, featuring I think Lil Yachty, Fabio Foreign, and Ruga. I'm a bit indifferent on this song. I'm leaning more towards liking it, especially the more that I listen to it. I like the message and I like the refrain on the chorus. You know, okay, okay, I'm not okay. That's kind of sick. And Lil Yachty's verse is it's fine. It's not the best. I like Lil Yachty, um, but it drags on a bit and it doesn't really have like the energy that I would have liked on a song like this. Um, I really like that line about my homie got locked up, more home runs than Babe Ruth, or something like that. I know I'm butchering that, but that line was pretty sick. Um, for the rest of it, I'm kind of just indifferent. I don't know anything about Rugo. Like I said before, I don't know much about Fabio Foreign. They're fine also on the track, but I feel like I'm left wanting more on this. It's obviously not a bad song. Um, just because I'm a bit indifferent on it doesn't mean that I hate the song or anything, but it's not bad. And I think the more that I do listen to it, the more I'll like it. I like the vibe of it. I like the idea. So maybe I'll start to attach to it more as time goes on. Also about okay, okay, it doesn't really sound like a Kanye song itself, even though Kanye made it. It's a lot of his features. Um, you know, just him showcasing his features that he got on the album. But I forgot to mention, there's one line that Kanye says that I really dig about all the people in rap sound like me, can't tell who is who. I assume that that is a shot at Drake, but that was pretty hard. I respect that, and it flows very well. Kanye's verse is pretty good, and now I'm just overthinking it, just psyching myself out. But like I said, it'll probably keep growing on me, and that's really the only thoughts I have on it right now. Junior with Playboy Cardi, I have a few thoughts on this song. I like it. I know it's not a favorite of from what I've been seeing like on the internet and reviewers. It's not a favorite of theirs. I think it might be in part because I'm a big Cardi fan, but also not because I think the beat is really good. Kanye's verse is really good. It flows very well. Cardi obviously does great on I guess it's sort of the chorus. There's quite a few lines on this song that I really think are peak Kanye, are pretty hard, and speak for themselves. The moment where he says ex strippers, new killers, that part and the beat kicks in, the bass kicks in, that's such a great moment on the song. Really sick. Talking about, you know, I can't see, what did I miss? Tell him this, did he miss? Saying, you know, when did I miss? You know, which arguably is true. It's hard to say that Kanye has missed in so long, perhaps ever. Um, the line about seeing more comments and I see comments, that's freaking sick. The Giannis line, obviously, was all over the internet. And the better find God before he finds me. That's a really cool line. Also, a bit of a Drake diss is what I'm getting on this song on a few lines, saying, "Why can't losers lose in peace?" Um, Talking about it really sounds like he's taking a shot at Drake. But last thing I want to say is the listening party, I believe it was the second one, when he played this and he had the choir join in when he says Junior Watanabe on my re on the re on that part, the chorus would sing along with him or say that with him, and it really elevated the song. I felt like I was really vibing out to it when I heard it. The second listening party, was really excited for it, and now it's not on the album. Believe What I Say obviously uses a Lauryn Hill sample. I'm pretty sure it's Doo Wop by Lauryn Hill. Um, at first, I really didn't dig this song. There were a lot of people saying that this was one of their favorites on the album. I was kind of not liking it because it seems to have the same bass line as Fade off of The Life of Pablo. If not, like, I think it's identical. I think the bass line is exactly the same. I could be wrong, but um, Drake had used this sample on Draft Day, and when he put that song out however long ago, God, it's been forever, I did not really like it at all. I didn't dig the sample at all. Obviously, at that time, I did not know who Lauryn Hill was. Oops. But this time, I think that Kanye uses the sample in a lot more brilliant way. This song is a lot more vibey, a lot more dancey. Maybe something you'd hear like in the club or something. It's pretty sick the more I listen to it. I just listened again and it's already growing on me. I love the chorus. I'm not completely sure what he's talking about. Maybe something to do with Christianity, but he's talking about, not letting the lifestyle that they're living bring you down. I really love the, not really spoken word, but the message. I'm not sure who is saying it, but it's for a good portion of the song. I like the message that he's talking about. It's really cool. It fits the vibe of the song, the mood of the song. And then obviously the chorus comes back in. It's definitely a vibe. I think that this is a sleeper for me. It seems to be hitting quicker for a lot of people. But that Lauryn Hill sample is good. It's really good. And obviously Kanye is known for that. It's great that he brought up this sample again, and it only makes me think that it has something to do with Drake, with everything, all of the beef that's been going on. It seems to me that there's some sort of something going on there with Drake using that sample back in the day, and now Kanye using it again. Maybe that's a stretch, but I can't help but think that that's possible. 24 is the next song, and oh god, here we go. This song is amazing. This song is so great. It's so gorgeous. I think everything about this song is perfect. I think Kanye's singing is perfect. I think it's on pitch. I think it fits the song extremely well. The choir is amazing. It's non-stop just memorable moments on this song. So many good lines and such a euphoric feeling I get from this song. The Save Me that the choir sings is just godly. Throw my hands up in the sky, that part, I sing that shit all the time ever since the first listening party. Just absolutely blissful. It's incredible. The Nothing Else If It Feels Right one, We Gonna Be Okay, God's Not Finished. obviously having ties to his mother, talking about, I think he says, I know you're alive and God's not finished. The devil is a lie and God's not finished. This song is beautiful. I also think that this is one of the best songs that Kanye has ever made. This should have been what Jesus is King sounded like. Not to trash on Jesus is King. I think that that's a great album as well. There was a lot of potential there, and I think that songs like this should have been on the album. It's absolutely gorgeous. I can't say enough good things about it. Definitely a top 5 song on the album, could be a top 3 song, and I can't get enough of it. Remote Control with Young Thug on the feature should have been Kid Cudi on the feature, but this is what we have. When I first heard this song at the listening party, I think it was like on the very first listening party, it was very, very raw, not much going on. I didn't like this song at all, and I didn't know what the hell Kanye was doing. I was really confused. And then he put Cudi on the song, maybe second listening party, and kind of beefed up the song a little bit, added a bunch to it, and I really dug this song. I'm a big Kid Cudi fan since I was a kid. Kid Cudi went off. His vocals are beautiful. He's singing on pitch at the top of his lungs, just belting out these beautiful melodies over this beat that fit amazingly. But we don't have that on this album. And so I was conflicted because I started to love that song. And now he's not on the album, and it's still a great song. I love Young Thug, and I think he really does his thing on this. I think he really shows out. When he comes in, it's so smooth. He's just weaving in and out of the beat, just flowing like a fucking menace, just going off. The wrist still 32 below, hopping out a new Rolls Royce. That one is so fire. Kanye sounds really good singing. He's really putting himself out there, and Kanye's singing has improved throughout the years. I think it's a great showcase here. The robotic voice that comes in on Young Thug's verse, I don't dig it at all. I really liked that part when I heard it at the listening party, and now you can't even understand what he's saying because he put that robotic voice over it. Also, my friend had mentioned the part where the whistle comes in, and it's just the whistle. It's almost reminiscent of Kill Bill, and I agreed with him on that. I don't think that maybe that was an inspiration for it, but it sounds and gives me the vibe of like Kill Bill for sure, that whistling song that they put in the movie. Can't think of the name of it, but whatever. Solid song. Heartbroken that Cudi's not on it, because I think that was one of Cudi's best performances. Cudi's best performances. So I'm a little sad about that, but still a great song that we got. I don't know how much I'm going to speak on Moon with Kid Cudi and Don Toliver, because I think a lot has been said. I'm not sure what more I can say about this song. It's gorgeous. I do want to say, again, probably one of the best songs Kanye has made ever. It's top 3 on the album. It sounds like 80 Degrees when Kanye first, or excuse me, Hurricane. I don't know why. I've always called it 80 Degrees, but it sounds like part 2 of 80 Degrees, and it fit very well when Kanye first played it. When we first heard it, I think he played Moon right after Hurricane, right after 80 Degrees, and that moment in the listening party was absolutely mesmerizing. This will be the end of this video, this part, this section. I'll do a part 2, either upload it tomorrow or the next day. I'm doing this for a few reasons. First is this video is incredibly long. I didn't expect it to be this long, so maybe it's best that I break them up into 2 parts, and I'll do part 2. We're at roughly the halfway point, somewhat the halfway point of the album, so I'll finish off the track list on my next video, give some closing thoughts. Also, this just makes me tired, and mustering up the brain power and the energy to do this after going to work for the day is not very easy. I would like to get some of my thoughts out now, and then maybe finish it off within the next 2 days, just so I can go ahead and get some of that content out, some of those thoughts out. But that's it for the first part, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. That means the world to me. I love this stuff, and I really appreciate it if you've gotten this far. So, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next one.